1. Intolerance. Not being able to accept the small irritations that are part of daily life in society. If he goes off on an enraged, 15-minute diatribe because someone pulled out in front of him in traffic, for instance, indicates a volatile attitude that could, at some point, be very dangerous to people around him. It doesn't even have to descend to the level of abuse. If he can't be at least mildly cordial for 10 or 15 minutes until the situation is settled, he's too inflexible to hang around. 2. Being rude, especially to anyone who is not in a position to fight back. Waiters, cleaners, store clerks, etc. If he won't treat everybody with basic human decency, that rude attitude will be aimed at me when the newness of the relationship wears off. 3. Discrimination. Not being willing to allow others the same advantages he has. In other words, voting against healthcare, workers' rights, women's bodily integrity, supporting gerrymandering, assuming his religion is better than all others, etc. 4. Low self-esteem. I think people lose respect for people who don't respect themselves, or who implicitly support an impression that they are inferior, obsequious, fawning, and passive. The same goes for some men with women who have been brought up to be nice, self-censoring, supportive, and unwilling to express boundaries, independent opinions, or expectations. It's not that they don't have these things, it's just that they conceal them from the other person, and then often blame them for not noticing. 5. Being overly nice. These nice guys are too nice. They're unwilling to show any hard edges or say no. They don't clearly communicate what they want or don't want. Then they get upset and lash out when people walk over their non-existent boundaries. You can't trust them, because quite often they will present a face where they are obsequious, fawning, and passive. But inside they resent what they see as a one-sided relationship where they give in to what the other person wants, but never seem to get what they want in return. 6. Ulterior motives. A man might say that he was always willing to help carry things, give her gifts, and be her emotional support, but is upset because she doesn't want to be his girlfriend. They assumed that this was part of the deal, and if they kept giving, this would naturally lead to getting their unspoken expectations. If you're not happy with the terms of your relationship, then tell your partner, not your friends and family. If you look at how they actually communicated that they weren't happy, or that they expected something else, you generally find that there's a lot of ambiguous body language, hints, and implied agreements that the other person didn't agree to rather than clear speech. These are the people you want to stay away from because their motivations and therefore their future reactions are not clear. 7. Being timid. I think people tend to accept the status quo around them to some extent. It's like contracting. If you give your work away for a low price, people will often think your work has low value. If you never negotiate, people will stop asking for your opinion and you will be paid and respected less. If you don't assert limits, people won't respect your limits. If you come off as needy and overly willing to please, some people will take advantage of that. This can sometimes be because they want to unfairly exploit you, but sometimes it's just that you need to be comfortable taking up space and recognizing your own needs, as well as the value of your contribution to others.